Yo, yo, what's up, my dudes? It's Luke here from Blue Room Academy, and today we're back inside of Ableton. We've just cooked up a tune here that is heavily inspired by Sidney Charles and the Heavy House Society. And man, oh man, let me tell you something. This label has been providing absolute tunes for the past couple of months. Every single track on their catalog has been an absolute banger. And yeah, I thought I might as well just make a video and make a tune kind of covering their style. Yeah, I basically listen to their whole catalog and I try to find like key points and where they really make their sound unique compared to other labels. This video is going to be pretty short. I'm just going to briefly skim through all the stuff you already know and focus more on the stuff that really makes this tune stand out or be unique. So quickly, I'll just play you guys what the drop sounds like right now. Yeah, so that is pretty much the tune in a nutshell. We're going to start at the top as usual. Let me just close these guys. So at the top here, we have our kick drum. Underneath that, we have the special kick for the drop. So that is just an auto filter, obviously cutting it out there. So underneath that, we have the bass. Very basic. It's just an operator synth, or bass inside operator. What I did to generate the MIDI was use this plugin called Sting. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. If you haven't, go check it out. It's a fucking phenomenal plugin. If you don't have an idea for like a bass line or a little melody or whatever, just throw it on there with a little scaler. But the bass is just an operator with an erosion texture on top. Got a Kickstart sidechain and an auto filter, which is cutting off the lows. So quickly, I just want to show you guys how I made this bass here. It's very easy. It's done in operator. It's going to take you like maybe 30 seconds. You're going to have a nice fat bass after this. We're going to go to the filter settings. We're going to push up the envelope to 35%. Go down to the oscillator settings, put the waveform on saw 64, saw 32, doesn't matter. We're going to go to the filter frequency and we're going to set this in between 200 and 300 hertz should do. And just going to throw this bass layer down here. Very easy, very quick to make. If you want to make it interesting, as I've done here, you throw an erosion on, play with the settings inside of here, play with the filter settings, and automate those cutoffs. And you can get some very interesting, cool, bouncy sounding basses. So underneath that, we have our drum groove. So Heavy House Society, from what I've noticed, uses a lot of like raw drums. Well, at least the drum groove sounds very raw. We have this hi-hat here, followed by an open hat. Let me just mute the open hat. We have a closed hat underneath that. Added with this little open hat that comes in every now and then. Underneath, we have our clap. We have our snares. Underneath that, we have this drum groove that is just a sample loop, a breakbeat that we've squeezed the transients of. It's not a very clean breakbeat. It sounds like it's a room recording of this drum set. So obviously just adding it as a layer on top of all of the drums makes it sound a little bit more heavy housey. I don't know the right words for it. So this is the drums without this loop over here. And then with the breakbeat loop. Underneath, we have the synth, which is really one of the distinct elements that I've noticed in Heavy House's tunes is that I couldn't really identify what the sound was, but eventually after playing around, I came across this guitar sample. Turn the effects off. Yeah, so after the effects, it sounds like this. So I've put an auto filter on here, pushed up the resonance, and then automated this filter cutoff frequency to go from up to down. Gives a really cool effect, especially adding that extra resonance is really, emphasizing those frequencies in which it's targeting when it's coming down, which why it sounds like it's almost like an effect, like, and we've got a little bit of a redux to, I suppose, add extra texture. Guys, you should understand this about me. Whenever I want to make a sound more analogy, I'll just throw on a redux or erosion. And that kind of gives the effect of like, okay, it's gritty, like a gritty kind of synth, So if you ever find yourself like you're playing back your synths and you're like, shit, like these synths sound a little bit too clean. I know it's a weird thing to say, but especially in this kind of music, you don't want everything to be clean. You want some things to be a little bit raw and crunchy. So yeah, that's what we did for that synth. Underneath is just an additive layer for this, which is just a guitar. Yeah, so low in volume, not doing that much. We've got the synth that I made inside of Operator. And same as before, it's just Sawwave 64, exactly how we made the bass. The only difference is that we've destroyed this resonance. We've pushed it all the way up to 100%. And we've made a little automation on the filter cutoff. So yeah, you can just play around with that. We've got the sample here, which is almost like a riser and smacked on a lot of reverb and delay on there. Underneath, we have the synth. Again, same as before, just extremely resonated saw wave that we've just automated the filter cutoff of. And yeah, underneath that, we've got a little acid synth. So if I play this in context with the bass. So it's really just an additive little synth to that bass layer. It's complementing it nicely. And underneath that, we also have same instance of this acid kind of synth, but we've added more melody to it. In a lower octave too. And the synth at the top here also goes to a lower octave when the drop hits. Underneath, we have this guitar loop. So this is the automation for this auto filter, which is opening and closing. I did this because we didn't want the whole guitar loop busy playing. We just kind of wanted that last little piece that licks off into. Underneath, we've got this glitch loop. 2 layers. Just adding some extra percussion to the mix. Underneath, we have these vocals. So the main vocal chops are this vocal that I cut up from a sample pack. So same thing as the bass. As I said earlier, you really want to download the Sting plugin if you don't have it, because it even helps with vocal chops. You just throw it on to the simpler, the slicer that you've got here, that you've thrown your vocals into, put it on the slice mode, and then you throw the Sting on there, and it's going to generate these random melodies, which is really great. Just show you guys. So yeah, once you find a kind of melody you like, you just record it, throw it in here into this MIDI, turn sting off, and you can make variations as you please. Yeah. Underneath that, we have this effects, which is a snare roll. Followed with that horn that is also quite commonly used in the heavy house. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please consider leaving a like and subscribe. The project files are going to be available on my Patreon as normal. And yeah, I hope you guys have a blessed week. Stay safe. Take it easy.